Well, we're back at the Wizard Life, and this is the opportunity. If you've never met the Wizard, as I like to say, first of all, in case you haven't seen episode 1, the Wizard is always right. So you don't have to think, the Wizard will do that for you. Now, while he's pondering through his notes, we, the public, can come up with, I call us the public, can come up with questions for the Wizard that maybe you've wanted to know. So Wizard, first of all, let's ask some simple questions. Domestically, what would you say are some of the finest things in spousal connection that you, if you were a single wizard, because you have a wife wizard, right?
Right.
What were the single things that you would say, kind of advice to those that need to know how to meet their mate? What would you suggest?
Well, you're not going to believe it, so I don't know that I'm going to say it.
Give it a crack.
You sure?
Okay. We're waiting.
Okay. You're not a real big car guy, but I am.
Okay.
Okay. And so I have seen men who are intentional about tapping into a woman's essence and understanding her essence is a car, and he gets the car that attracts the woman, and he wins attention to the woman, and then he captivates her heart and life, like for her whole life. That's one. I mean, there's a lot of them, but that's one.
Well, give us another one.
This one's a lot more complicated.
We have some time.
Okay, so you're in a relationship. Is that okay?
Yeah, fine.
Because a car attracts them to you.
Okay.
Okay? And so the car attracts them to you. Like Dale over in Indiana, he's struggling to attract somebody to him, but he doesn't come and visit the Wizard. So if you're around, like you are a chick magnet because you're with me. So if you want to attract,
just like that,
boom, it's there. Like it's like, oh my gracious, he's with the Wizard. Like, oh, like he must understand women. Okay, but let's say we're past that stage now. We're with a woman. Okay, so what you do is you go ahead and ask her, like 1 to 10, how would you rate our relationship? I know you're thinking, ah!
That's a dangerous question,
right? That's what guys think. They're like, ah!
We really don't want to know that,
right?
Yeah.
You know, but that's not the real magical one.
What is the magical one, Wizard?
It's when she says a 2.
That's a good thing?
It's fine. It doesn't matter.
The number is irrelevant.
It really is.
Okay. So what is relevant?
Well, then you have to respond and you have to say, oh, okay, honey, I appreciate that.
That's all you say.
If she says it's a 2. You don't have any drama, you don't have any disappointment, you don't have anything, you just say, it's okay, it is what it is. Like we don't know what, we learned about dimensions, right?
Yes.
I'm sure she's thinking that it's a 2 on like the 20th dimension.
Yeah, big dimension.
Yeah, so then what you do is whatever she says, you always go ahead and like it's indifferent. Like you're just like indifferent to it. Because women like that a lot.
They like indifferent.
Well, if it's proper, like if they're like.
How do you know? That's a good question. How do you know proper versus improper?
You talk to Wizard a lot. You pay attention to the channel. You watch it a lot, and so, like if she's expecting you to go ahead and be defensive, angry, upset, it's not that you don't care. It's not that. It's just like it is what it is. It's a 2. So then the next, no matter what, unless it's an 8, 9, or 10. Okay, very few people other than Wizard can understand that. I mean, I get 10s like all the time. But if you're getting less, if it's a 10.
If you're like us.
Right,
like
normal,
me,
mortal, right.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you're
like
a 10.
me in the 2 range on a good day.
Right, and so what you do is you go ahead and say, that's interesting. You might say, a good follow-up question would be, so what would be a suggestion, on how I could go ahead and improve? To get how could we get it to a 10, or how could we get it?
Now, do guys generally want to know that answer, or they should know that answer?
The stupid ones don't.
Okay. So the good thing would be to ask the next question.
Yeah, you go ahead and say, what would it take to get to a 10 or a 7 or 8 or whatever? See, this is the thing that
you don't want to go from a 2 to a 3. You want to go right up to an 8 or an 9.
I don't know.
10.
I would, but that's me.
You
so
want to go to a 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, isn't it gradual steps, or it's just like a ladder? Isn't it like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or for you, is it like 210?
210.
So you're like an Estes rocket. You
Yeah.
just light that fuse and that thing goes.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so wait.
So then you
for
can-
us humans,
right, you could go ahead and ask her, tell me more. Like
Tell
she
me
could,
more.
yeah, she could say, it's a 6, and you say, oh, that's interesting, tell me more.
wait, what's a 6?
The
You were at a
relationship.
2.
Well, you could be a 2, or she could say
Well,
a
let's
6,
say,
whatever.
let's stay at 2.
Okay.
That's, for most of us guys, 2 is the right number.
Okay.
So we can move up from that 2.
So you go,
Okay. I actually talked to a woman who met both of us, who said, hey, 2 weeks ago I was thinking about getting divorced. And yet here she was still married. So it must have gone from a 2, which is where most of us guys are at all the time, and it moved up for her. So did you talk to her, or this was just all on her own?
could have been.
There
She
you go.
might have just
So,
watched a
all right,
video.
so let's-
This is what happens
Yeah,
with
you
these
watch the
vid-
video and all of a sudden you move up. So
Right.
we're at 2. Just take me to 3 and 4.
Okay.
Don't get me all the way to 10. I'm not the Estes rocket.
So you go and say, honey, I appreciate your honesty, like that means a lot to me.
So step 1
Don't
is,
laugh.
so step
Do
1.
not laugh.
Okay, so let's try it. Okay,
Alright.
go ahead, try it. You be the
Go
wife. So, honey,
Mhm.
how's our relationship?
I gotta be honest with you, you may be like one of the worst listeners I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, you shared that with me before. So what's the number if it was 1 to 10? I'm playing me, you play my wife.
Oh, yeah.
Or the woman, okay.
Yeah.
So what would the number be, sweetheart?
Okay. Okay, let's reverse it.
Okay, let's reverse it. All right, I'm the wife?
Uh-huh.
Okay, go ahead.
So honey, I was just, thinking about our relationship the other day, and I was just curious, like 1 to 10, how would you rate our relationship, 10 being the highest? And if it's a 2, it's totally okay. I mean, I'm just curious.
Just so I'm the girl?
Mhm.
Well, I'd give it a 2.
Okay, I love that about honesty, about you, like it's like that's the thing.
Don't you care?
About
Did I say 2?
Well,
That would be her reaction, or is that off?
you don't have to, I'm fine with anything.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so,
Don't you care that it's just a 2?
well, yeah, it's a good question, honey. I mean, yes and no.
Give me the yes part now.
Okay, I mean, yes, like, what would you like it to be?
A lot more than 2.
Well, 3 is 50% more.
I'm not doing the math you're doing.
Okay.
I need numbers, big numbers.
Well, then give me a number, honey.
Let's go like 8, 9.
Okay, let's go 9.
Let's,
Well, forget
Let's
that
go.
9, let's do 10.
okay, now you're talking.
Okay, so what would it take, what would be one suggestion it would take to go ahead and get to a 10?
Well, we'll start with dinner.
You wanna
and
eat?
We'll talk. We'll talk, you'll pay attention to me. I'll use one of my 5 love languages. You can start with gifts. You can then do some service, some quality time. And then you can do some words of affirmation. I don't have to have that though, I could care less because I know I'm awesome. And then, what else do I need? Gifts, service, words of affirmation. The physical touch, that's for you too. So just give me the other 3. I'd like it now.
That would give,
That would get us up to at least a 4 by the end of the night if you play every single one of them perfect to a T.
so are you looking at a relationship from a long-term or short-term perspective?
Yes.
Hmm.
Both long and short term. And it's getting shorter if you're not starting to move into action mode.
So, like with our kids and stuff, do you think they're self-centered and self-absorbed?
Hold on a minute, I gotta think about that. What was the question?
Do you think our children are self-absorbed?
Hold on a minute. What now?
Sure. Do you think our children are self-absorbed and entitled?
I don't understand the question, I have no idea. What?
So,
When are you doing those 3 things I asked?
I could be wrong, obviously, I could be wrong, but it seems to me that, we're never gonna get beyond a 2 where we're at right now.
Because you're not doing the 3 things that I asked you for.
Did you realize that I visited the wizard?
And?
He diagnosed me with social autism. No, I'm serious, honey.
All right, and how does that value our relationship?
I have a disability.
And what does that mean for me? That sounds like it's gonna be more work for me now. Do I have to put you in some kind of a home or something?
I don't know, I guess. I don't know, I have a disability.
Well, let's get you to that home. I've got things to do.
So what I tend to do is, the disability I learned from the wizard is that, you know, social autism is, it's like I have to be honest.
Okay, so how does this value me in our relationship? I'm
Well,
not coming off that too so far very quickly.
Well, again, part of it's no.
Part of what's no?
You said if I cared.
No, I've lost.
You said, do you care about it being a 2? And I said, yes and no.
Okay, so part of it's no. But remember, I as the woman didn't want to hear about the no. I want to hear about just the yes.
Right.
Right.
And so now that you know I have a disability, I mean, women are you're very sensitive because you're a woman, right?
I can be at times.
Right, especially.
To complete strangers who I don't know that are bleeding on the side of the road, but not to my husband.
Right, and so.
Or a possible animal.
Right, absolutely,
Right.
Tons
but
of.
not to my husband.
Right, except.
Let's remember the rules. The pastor looked at you and looked at me. And he said very specifically, for better, and he looked at me, and then he looked at you and said for worse. So that's the rules that we play by.
Well,
for better is for me, and for worse is for you.
This is what the wizard
So this is
said
supposed to
me.
be better for me.
Right.
The fact that you have a disability is now starting to sound like an irritation to me.
Well, again, I have a disability and you're really sensitive, and pastors would go ahead and be
Only
nice
to someone other than my husband.
No, it doesn't say that. See, the
If
thing
you
is,
looked at the pastor.
See, I talked about that with the wizard. He explained it.
This is the problem. You don't listen to me. You're not caring. You're not hearing me.
Well, that would be one way to think about it.
Which should be the correct way because, again, I'm the woman in this relationship, so it's my way, not necessarily the highway.
Again, the wizard has an explanation.
If I choose
for
it
that.
not to be the highway.
Tell you what.
Go ahead.
If you want to go ahead,
Hold on.
if you want to go ahead and get it to attend, you're going to have to visit with the wizard with me. If you really want it, it's like, hello. Now,
I'm
with
not
the
playing
pastor,
that wizard game with you or anybody else.
Well, again, it's up to you. Then you don't want a 10. You're fine with a 2. And again, if you want a 2.
No, I want it up.
No, you don't. 'Cause
Yes,
you'd
I
visit
do.
with-
Up, 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 up,
You know,
up, up.
Again, I have the social autism. I have the disability.
This
and
is
so-
causing me a problem, your disability.
No, not yet, because I haven't
It
demonstrated.
seems to be.
Well, no, because I haven't.
You're
told-
not hearing me again
No,
and
I
again.
am
This is what I
hearing you.
talked to my girlfriend about yesterday.
Well, I know.
Went to lunch.
Right, and she probably.
She, by the
agrees
way,
with
got
you.
her nails done,
Right.
and I didn't.
So again, the pastor gets up and he seduces
And he
you as a
looked
woman.
specifically
Right,
at me.
and they seduce you as a woman.
Right.
Right, and they
That's
go ahead
the
and they.
good part about the seducing me as a woman.
No, it's not. It's not because they say
That's
if
why
mama's
I
not
think-
happy, nobody's happy. What kind of garbage is that?
It's good garbage.
No, it's not. Well, it is if you're a woman.
Yes, sweetheart. That's
Okay,
why I
yes.
like it.
So this is not. You're not getting it, and I get it. You know, but you haven't experienced my social autism because for the 11 years we've been married, I've been suppressing my feelings, and you want my feelings, and so I'm going to have to start sharing them, and I'm going to have to because I have social autism.
This is why you're not listening. I
No,
want my
I'm just
feelings
I
taken
just
care
want
of.
you to understand you're stupid. I mean,
This is why I want
You're
my
stupid.
feelings taken care of.
you're stupid.
What'd you say?
You're stupid.
Oh, okay. All right.
You're just stupid.
So let's
I mean,
go
you're like
back.
a little girl. You're like a little child. Like you have no emotional intelligence. You're just pathetic.
Do I get my way?
Well, yes,
Well,
you
then
have.
that's good.
No, up until now, but now that I have social
Are they
autism,
watching me?
I mean, now that I have social autism, I can be honest with you. That's what
What?
the wizard said. And you're
I'm
just,
not
you're
interested in
self-centered,
honesty.
self-absorbed. The reason you're at a 2 in our marriage is because you're self-absorbed. I don't know what to say.
I'm
That's
going
just
to
the
Margaret.
truth.
I'm going out with Margaret to Starbucks, whether we get this thing
Like
done or not.
when? Like sooner?
Sooner
Like
than
right
later.
away?
This isn't going my
Thank
way,
you.
so I'm going to Starbucks with Margaret. That's
Right,
all I gotta say.
and with my social autism, he taught me you don't negotiate with terrorists, you shoot them. I'm not gonna shoot you, honey, but emotionally I might. So you know what? Go out, I don't
How does my
care.
hair look anyway? Because if I'm getting together with Margaret, I need my shoes to completely match.
Why are you wasting my
Whether
time?
you want to
Do
shoot
you know
me
why
or not
you're,
is
do you
irrelevant.
know why you're sharing this with me?
You're so
There's
guns,
10 reasons.
Guns, so
Num-
bang, I'm
number
such a
one,
boy.
number one
Guns,
reason
cars,
is it's like,
drive,
you have nothing.
Golf.
I mean,
What about me? Again, I'm a 2. I need to be up, up, up.
no, you're not a 2, you're a 1.
Margaret's husband
You're a 1.
listens to her. She brings her up all the time. Did you see her nails? Fantastic.
Well, maybe he's an idiot, I don't know.
No, he's not. He cares. When are you going to start to learn?
Well, I know the wizard, and he's got amazing, and his best friend, you gotta pay attention to him. Like his wife, like his wife is
the wizard.
right.
Wizard,
You ought to
wizard.
listen to his videos.
Magic wizard.
Right, I'm just saying. So maybe if you go ahead and listen, watch this video, watch some of his other videos, and if you don't want it, then be happy being unhappy. I mean, that's what it is. This is not brain surgery. It's not rocket science, Heine. Just go ahead and do it.